Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Dread Zone Gaming Twitch, where we have DZG Arcadia taking on OME Nightfall in Week 1 of the Aegis Plat League. My name is Inphonic, and today I'm joined by J Core Core. J Core Core, how you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. I'm excited to see DZG pull out a win tonight. I've played with a couple of these people. I think they're very talented and can get it done.
Absolutely, and as you guys can tell, we already got started in draft. We're a little, itchy on the trigger finger here. We're trying to get it all getting going, and we have bans already completed. A lot of ADC bans: Kai'Sa, Tristana, Zaya from both sides. Some Blanc, some Rel. A lot of these big popular picks that you see flex around in multiple roles, or just overall OP. And Wukong is going to get picked up by OME Nightfall. Definitely leaving a lot of power picks open, like that Nico. It's and Melio. So I mean, DZ Arcadia, not afraid to pick that up immediately.
Yeah, say very strong picks right away out of DZG. I do think Wukong is a good pick, but not on the same level as Nico and Emilio. So they have to follow it up with something that can match the power of these two champs.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Nico definitely after the rework has had a lot of great success in multiple lanes. We've seen her top, we've seen her mid, jungle, support. I'm not AD, but I mean, I'm sure she could be played there. And Melio, I mean, still super strong. But I mean, Nightfall going with the traditional Lulu Aphelios, definitely saying, hey, you guys can engage on us all you want. Aphelios, Wukong, Lulu, we're gonna stay alive. But DCG doesn't necessarily have to do that, and they are leaving, the traditional pairing. It's the Aphelios Jinx matchup that we're also painfully aware of right now in a lot of pro play.
I say, yeah, OME's bot lane right now should have a decent laning phase just because Jinx is so weak early on. Emilio isn't that strong either. So hopefully that's something they have a plan for, is that they want to get push bot, I would think, and then try to make plays happen with the Wukong around it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, something to notice too is like the Mila isn't really necessarily getting a lot of value here. Really, the Wukong is the only thing that's really providing any engage. And in terms of his cleansing ultimate, there's really not a lot to cleanse aside
Yeah, it
from
doesn't work on the Wukong ult.
nope. Really, aside from the Gravitum root, and if it's the ultimate with the Aphelios ulti, if it applies to everybody, then yeah, sure, definitely something to cleanse. But it's definitely not getting as much value as you hope. Ban wise, looks like a lot of these jungle picks are also getting taken out, or anything that could really provide a big threat. DZG looking to focus more on the solo lanes with the Sylas and the Gwen, where OME Nightfall is trying to get rid of this Jarvan, trying to make it so that they don't lock up the immobile Lulu Aphelios, and we'll run it out with another jungle pick. But it doesn't matter. Scrafty going to be put on his tried and true Amumu. We're not going to be seeing a carry jungler by any means, but Scrafty is threatening on that pick nonetheless.
So I think Amima is a really good pick. They have a good damage spread already, and they just need someone who can start the fight and provide CC so that the backline can hit. And
Yeah,
top counter pick incoming for DZG as well. I think it's pretty expected.
yeah, and the Aatrox, I mean, being taken here, a very solid pick. It really allows for that whole front to back to be able to kind of push forward and kind of be that drain tank that Aatrox tends to be. Like you said, it is counter pick for DCG Arcadia. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be seeing something like maybe like an Alawi, which is something that is left open and something that Argo is quite proficient at. There are other picks as well, like Fiora, Jax, but
So
yeah,
yeah,
it is
you're
going to
right on
be
the
that Alawi.
Alawi.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean, Alawi, it's one of his best champions, if not probably his best. And I mean, if you're just giving him the option to play it into a top lane matchup that already wants to go on to you, I mean, Alawi's more than happy to play into that.
yeah. Alawi is also I always find really useful when you have like the range advantage in the team fight because they have to run into it. So with Jinx
Yeah,
Milio, they should have that range advantage.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially as the Melio gets stronger, and Jinx is able to both abuse the rocket range as well as the extended range that the Melio gives. With this beefy front line and the Nico to be able to kind of do a bit of zone control. Same with the Amumu. Both of those League of Circles, as we have three circle champions here who are really trying to create space for the Jinx, which is really main DPS here. I mean, if Jinx remains untouched, then
Yeah,
really,
the
how do you
fight.
get on top of it?
Yeah, the fight should be won for DZG if that were to happen, if she remains untouched. However, I
Hmm.
do think OME does have some good tools. Like a Syndra stun can hit Jinx pretty easily, and Wukong and Aatrox flanks are what they will have to watch out for the most. If Aatrox gets a good TP, Jinx would have to like burn Flash immediately. And so those are your main threats: is the Wukong ult, Syndra stun, and Aatrox. being able to TP.
Yeah,
If those
I mean,
don't happen, DZG wins the fight.
no, absolutely. I 100% agree. It's very much so. It's whichever team can really get going, get their game plan going. Like you said, I mean, getting on top of the Jinx is not impossible for OME. They have a lot of options available to them. They have solid engage. They have really solid burst as well. The right gun combination with Aphelios makes his ultimate hit like a truck. Syndra, of course, as she picks up those shards, she's going to get stronger, going to be able to use that ultimate to pop three very squishy champions in the Nico, Melio, and the Jinx. Really, any of those that she grabs mispositioned can really be burst down and really create a numbers advantage for OME. Lulu obviously can pair up really well with both the Aatrox and the Wukong to even use that wild growth to create a knockup opportunity or just to kind of create this mega tank in the front line. So OME definitely not necessarily out of this game at all. And like you said, I mean, it's really just DZG not getting cut out per se, and really playing the game that they want to play, which is we have all these really strong picks, a lot of comfort, and a lot of quote unquote OP picks available for them that were on this red side. So it's really seeing which of these teams can really play to their strengths, play to their team comp.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah,
The two comps do similar things, but want to do it in different ways, and so it
mhm.
will pretty much come down to execution because they both do want a 5v5, but one's about the flanks, one's about the peel. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, I mean, being said, we will be going, as picks are rounding out. We will be going to a quick spectator delay, but don't go away. We'll be back in about 3-ish minutes for game number 1 of OME Nightfall taking on DZG Arcadia in week 1 of the Aegis Plat League. Welcome back, everybody, to this game number 1 of OME Nightfall versus DZG Arcadia. Looks like both teams are just looking to set up this quick 5-point here and, not really trying to do anything too exciting for game 1 of their season.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah,
Every
pretty standard. No champs that can really invade on either side. So best to just go with the safe option.
Nah, this is where you go a moo bandage toss in and you just all in game 1. I mean, sure, it definitely gonna
You're
work. It doesn't set
clear.
your moo behind it all.
Yeah, your clear would be just fine. I'm
It'll
sure.
be okay. Just ping heavy leash, please, thank you. And everything will be okay.
I say both AD carries going for the call start. The lane should be pretty chill and relaxed, so makes sense for both of them to start that. I do think OME does have a little more playmaking early, just with the Syndra and the Wukong.
Mhm.
Amumu and Nico really need alts to start really looking for huge plays, so I expect the early game to go in OME's favor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. It is definitely a little bit easier, at least burst damage or like fight-wise, for OME's kind of solo jungle pressure to really work out quite well. I feel like the bot lane is definitely going to be a little bit more, well, at least it should be a little bit more less bothered by the junglers, though it does look like both junglers are opting to start on the blue side, which means that they will be looking for opposite sides of the map unless the Wukong decides to invade the red and split the map. But yeah, I mean, if I'm DZG, especially with the Amumu, like you said, having not a lot of access to CC, but aside from like the 2 bandage tosses, I'm probably looking to go top and get something like Argo ahead, where...
Yeah, I agree. Top seems to be the most volatile matchup early, but we'll see what happens. Double melees are always fun to watch in the top lane.
Oh, absolutely. And it's interesting because, I mean, despite it being double melee, technically, I guess the Aatrox would have a little bit of an advantage with that. With those Qs and just being able to have a little bit more range. But, one Tusk of Spirit from the Alawi, just grabbing the Spirit and just kind of beating it up a bit is definitely going to make the matchup a little bit more towards the Alawi side. Looks like Wukong's definitely taking a bit longer of a time to clear, and I mean that's one of the benefits of Amumu, especially even after nerfs. His clear is quite fast, so it makes it so he can actually be on the map a little bit quicker. So I'm surprised that the Wukong is going for what seems to be a full clear, maybe skipping Krugs, where the Amumu's already on red and can already start looking to pressure. Though top pretty pushed in, so
yeah,
might have to be a lane gank if they try to do anything.
Say lane gank into probably just a hover into Scuttle would be most likely.
Yeah, good trading up here by
Does seem a
Argo.
little slow on this clear.
Yeah, I mean he's not even done with red yet.
Yeah, he's not gonna get contested at all anyway, so it's not the biggest issue.
Yeah, looks like both junglers are just opting, trading up these Scuttle Crabs, not too worried. DZG getting a bit of vision on this blue side jungle, OME's blue side jungle, so they will know that the Wukong started up on the top side, and, ooh, DZG might get ganked here. Yeah, that is going to be the trap laid out. Exhaust going to be dropped. It's actually going to be dropped in the clone, though, so it is going to be a bit of a waste of an exhaust, but it is going to be DZG getting out of there at the cost of 1 summoner spell. Tenmo here, not too upset by that, and is going to allow the bot lane of OME to take a bit more control here. So a good, solid first gank here by the side of OME.
Yeah, it's a very good chunk. Should keep Jinx. Oh, Jinx will even. Okay, I didn't think she was going to back, but she was channeling it. Should be able to catch most of these minions under the tower.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to walk up for that, but they are getting a big chunk. Wukong did invade the blue side, or the DZG blue side jungle. Is going to get a bit of ward, maybe looking for a dive. Will get spotted on a ward though, so they do know that Wukong is going to be likely taking this Krug. But DZG's bot lane not necessarily opting to react. Vision control is also warning the OME that they may get collapsed on. Tenmo does have clone available. Ooh, still going to get rooted though. And that is going to be locked up, and first blood going to be given over to Invictus Rakan on the Milio. Not who you wanted on, but hey, if you're DZG, you take first blood 100% of the time.
Definitely take that. Milio is also not usually the worst to get gold, at least until first item. Shrila's is a pretty good spike. You can start chasing people down with the W. So yeah, I think it was just too aggressive by Tenmo to really go for that Gromp. They did have bot push, but they weren't really looking to move, and I think Aphelios just wanted to take the free reset, stay up in tempo, but seem to just be on different pages there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, especially in pushed up to turret, especially when, you know, as a Wukong or as a jungler, you're pushed so far into the enemy jungler as far as Gromp, you gotta expect the enemy bot lane to be able to move a little bit faster, or anytime you're there, you gotta, like you said, it's a bit of a lack of communication or just a miscommunication that kind of costs that. No harm, no foul, I guess. You know, it was a aggressive look by the Wukong. Nothing too detrimental, as Aphelios is still going to be up about 12 CS on this bot lane. They're looking to crash this, and they just came back from the reset, so it means more vision control for the side of OME as we see them move up, trying to get vision on this blue side jungle again, as this dragon has spawned now. They may find Emilio here, but it looks like Emilio is enough of a deterrent of saying, hey, we don't know where the jungler is, we don't know where the mid lane is, maybe we don't chase this Emilio down. But it is still vision control nonetheless in the river for the side of OME.
I say Mima is really pulling ahead in CS off of that play. Wukong seems to be dilly-dallying a little, canceling his recall, walking back and forth. Just losing a lot of tempo.
Yeah, it looks
Mima
like
is just fine farming up till 6.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to make a play mid, but was spotted out here by Suki on the Nico. Was pinged out saying, hey, you know, Wukong's hanging out. And like you said, wasting a lot of precious time here. It's definitely trying to make something happen, but I mean, at this point, it might just be better to kind of clear your camps and then look to set up elsewhere, especially pre-6. Like, aside from Syndra landing your stun, if that stun misses or it hits a Nico clone or Nico just doesn't, or you just don't have enough follow-up, there may not be enough burst. But it looks like DZG is going to go ahead and rotate over to the Dragon, and as the fight breaks out on the top lane, that is going to be the pullback by the top lane of OME here. It is just going to be some solid trading, but it does still look like DZG is going to commit to this dragon despite the fact that they walked over wards. Ooh, quick flash here. That is going to be the ultimate popped out. World Breaker going to come out, and that is going to be enough to deter Femboy from being able to really do much more, but it is going to be the dragon secured by DZG. Argo still applying this pressure.
Yeah, flash used by Argo there, too. So
yeah.
Could be a gank target once Wukong hits 6, though. Alawi would need to not have ult. Ganking
Yeah, and
Alawi
Syndra's
with
moving
ult
up.
Oh, don't need Wukong.
Yeah, doesn't look like we need Wukong here. Argo might get baited out here. He may be overextending. He is going to get spotted out when he walks out there. That means that he is going to be gank prone. No flash, like you mentioned. One good scan of the week could spell disastrous here. They're playing it slow. Oh, there it is. Scan of the week and Unleash Power. Yeah, and that's going to be the kill. Argo going down. A good roam by Gavin in the mid lane. It is going to allow Suki to pick up one plate here. If he's lucky, actually, I don't think he will get it. So that is just going to be just a free kill given over to the mid lane for the side of OME.
It's a good kill for OME. I do think they're sad that they had to lose that drag. If I was the bot lane, I would be a little sad. We're like winning 2v2 and getting push at any time. When you have to lose the drag always feels bad. But good kill by Gavin, and Syndra can become a real threat into their team. If she doesn't get hit by Bandage Stall, she can do a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we definitely mentioned it a bit about it. I mean, there's 3 really good targets for Syndra to burst down once she starts hitting these power spikes. Already on the last chapter, sitting on gold in her pocket from that kill. Angry Present, though, might be looking for a bandage shots over the wall. Ooh, will be sidestepped by Gavin, so will not be found there. Taking a look at the bot lane, Angels has already come back up on CS. He was down about 12, back to pretty much even here, as now they are the aggressors. They are pushing up. Arphelios, though, does have red-white guns. Could not necessarily be a good time for the bot lane of DZG to fight, as it is, you know, red-white don't fight. But who knows? I mean, DZG could look to figure something out here. Junglers are both at the top side of the map. This Rift Herald has spawned, so that's got to be the next point of contention for both teams if they so choose to do so.
Yeah. I do think a Herald fight does favor DZG at the moment, because at this point Jinx should be able to push with rockets at any point, and also has long range. Her ultimate, the super death rocket, can affect the fight, and also online for the team.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. You're very right. It looks like Jinx is taking the reset. Emilio's walking up here. Wards are being cleared out. Tenmo does spot out Angry Present here. The moves are a little interesting. Argo could have first move to there along with Suki, but he is once again a bit extended. Does have access to the ultimate though, so this could be a quick 2v1 scenario here. Cycle's going to come down. That's going to be the Alawi ulti. Curse of the Sad Mummy is there as well. Super Mega Death Rocket will land. One more hit should be enough. Argo taking dangerously low, but will take him down. That's going to be a double kill for DZG's top laner, and a Herald quite likely secured.
Yes, I say, going on the Alawi is always tough, especially. I didn't even think about this in draft, but Wukong clone counts for Alawi's alt.
Yeah, tentacle. It's an extra tentacle.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, that is tough. It's unfortunate, but you know, it's one of those things. It's like you never really gank an Alawi post 6 unless like it's like guaranteed, and if you know that the enemy that
ult,
or she doesn't have ult, right? And when you know that, you know, it's going to be a 2v2 top lane, both ultimates available, both the Curse of the Sad Mummy and the Alawi ulti, like it's definitely not a fight you choose to take unless you have to. And I think that was definitely OME's mistake. The Herald, though, was not taken. Argo was a little too low. Suki might not have had the pressure or the resources needed to be able to rotate to that. So the Herald is still alive and well. And taking a look a bit at vision, the vision control is shifted towards DZG as we see a lot of river vision being set up now. Instead of earlier where it was OME taking full control of that river, it's now DZG that's taking full control of this dragon area.
I say, yeah, they feel very safe to hit this tower, yeah, with all this vision they have in the river.
Absolutely.
No ult as well. Jinx and Milio are getting more of a free lane than I think they should have. Bodes very well for DZG.
Absolutely, another 3v3 fight could break out here. Bandage Toss is available. Melio getting chunked here. That is going to be the Bandage Toss land on the Lulu. Fantasia is getting free hits though. Ultimate still available, but that is going to be another Super Mega Death Rocket going to be taken down. Bandage Toss is available. It will not be used. Wukong though in the mid lane here is going to catch out Suki. Root's going to land there. So that is going to be enough deterrent, but that is going to be a 1-for-0 for the side of DZG and the probable Dragon. Bot lane and jungle are moving up. Scuttlecrab will be secured by Tenmo, so it is going to be a bit of vision here for this Dragon.
I think DZG they're still looking for a fight. Amimu ult's coming back up. I think they really just want to bait them into this, and if they OME doesn't contest, they get a free drag. If they don't, I think the fight looks good for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Curse of the Sad is
plan.
available. That is going to land. That's going to be a huge Curse of the Sad Mummy. That's going to come out, though. Angry Present will go down. The Dragon still going to be secured here. That's going to be
huge
rocket, though. Huge ultimate. That's going to be a 2-man secure here. And that's going to be 2-for-1 for the side of DZG. Angry Present more than happy to give up his life here to secure more kills and the Dragon. Ultimate going to be used here by both top laners. Argo trying to sustain through this fight. Tentacles are coming through. This is not looking good for Femboy here. He's getting out sustained here. Flash going to be forced out. Argo still has Flash available. Ultimate will time out though, so it is just a matter of time to see if he can combo correctly. Femboy does have access to his Qs again, as well as his chains, so maybe not the most advisable thing here for Argo, as he is relatively low, so maybe just happy to finish up this scuttle or this cannon wave and maybe look to take it back. But really good play by DZG in the bot lane.
Yeah, it was a really good play fight. I didn't see the Nico. I think she must have been disguised as something. Because
I didn't see her coming.
It hides the alt animation if you are disguised as something else, I believe. So there's a huge ultimate out of Suki and just kind of cleans the fight. And the Curse of the Sad Mummy applies Amimu's passive, which makes them all take so much true damage from Nico.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that reduction in MR is just super crazy. Or I don't know if it's reduction of MR or just increased damage.
It gives you bonus true damage.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, really good play by DZG. Herald is still available. Turret plates have now fallen 14 minutes in. So it is first turret was not taken prior to that, but a lot of good plates were taken. Bot lane, at least 3 plates were taken. Mid lane looks like at least 2. It is looking like the bot lane of OME is trying to push for this first turret here, but not enough of a wave, not enough of a contention against the Jinx wave clear with her rockets. Yeah. DZG is starting up this Herald.
Side, so they should. Yeah. They have the numbers advantage. I think trading a turret for this Herald is fine if OME can do that, especially because they are in a pretty tough state right now without Wukong having even his first item, Aatrox not having his first item. And the white gun coming out for Aphelios is really good in these situations to hit that.
Yeah,
tower.
Aphelios can bring out that turret, especially to tank up a little bit extra hits or just apply a little bit of extra damage as well. Oh, it looks like that is going to be the tank. It looks like Angel's trying to trade out. One more auto will not be enough, but it still will be the kill. 1 for 1, but a shutdown going over to Fantasia on this Aphelios. So really good 2v1 situation where the Lulu just like tanked a couple turret shots. But hey, I think it's still worth getting a shutdown.
Yeah, I think more than worth, yeah.
Yeah.
Jinx also misses the wave, and Jinx did save Flash, which can be good for any upcoming fight, but you always prefer to stay alive.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, you definitely look to Argo, maybe looking to take this first turret. Might wait until that Demolisher proc is back up and available. What we did see again was a Herald being taken for DZG as OME was not comfortable taking that fight. Like you said, they had numbers advantage. Some ultimates were coming back up, like the Nico ulti and the Amumu ulti, so that is still going to be all the neutral objectives secured by DZG so far. 1 Herald and 2 Dragons on the board with a looks to be not quite sure how much of a gold lead, but close enough. You know, it's still anyone's game. I mean, even taking a look at itemization, you're seeing the Sunder come out already for Wukong. Ooh, Emilio just barely dodging out on that Scat of the Week. Will take a bit of poke. Ultimates were dropped from both top laners, though. Argo not able to get as much healing as he wishes he could from that ultimate. But despite that, Test of Spirit is going to take a lot of Femboy's health away here. Argo looking for one more auto. Ooh, he dodges out on chains, too. Yeah, and I mean, this is perfect. Argo just needs one more hit here. That extra bit of damage by breaking the chain.
Too safe without the tower.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was really good. Argo definitely knowing the limits of his champion. That last bit of damage coming in from breaking the tether is really good. Mumu looking to force something mid. Does have the Herald available, so maybe looking to break down mid lane. Wukong is down here, though. This is a 3v2 situation for DZG. Clone, little short there. Ooh, Emilio, really good pop-up. Flash is popping off here. Cleanse going to be used as well by the Aphelios. Not Moonlight Vigil going to come out here,
I think
though.
OME gets collapsed here.
Dangerously low. Mumu looking to come in. Is going to miss the bandage toss. Does have Curse of the Sad Mummy available. TP coming in as well from the top lane. Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to come out here. Super Mega Rocket not available. Jinx trying to DPS as best as she can. Is going to get excited here with the 2 assists. And that is going to be a double kill coming out from Suki. Trying to heal up with that bonfire there. Is going to get pulled back by Chains. No, the clone's going to hit. Good dodge. That is still going to be a shutdown given over to Femboy here. It does leave Argo alone up in the top lane, but that is still going to be a 2 for 1 in favor of DZG. And a potential half, if not full turret being taken down the top lane. Angel going to stick around here, trying to wave clear as best as he can, but that is still going to be the Dragon going over to OME. They're first of the game, if they can get through this before Angry Crescent gets too close to maybe look for a steal.
I say, good comeback play from OME, I think, because you get this bounty on the Dragon. So even though you're losing waves topside, a lot of times the gold will be in your favor just because of the bounty.
Yeah,
I think it's a good look. Because I do think, say, the real saving grace for OME is going to end up being this Syndra and Aphelios, being able to like burst down someone. So they need to get as much gold as they can, more so than anything else. Aatrox losing gold for them to get gold is worth for their comp.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I 100% agree. You're right. I mean, the Syndra was able to pick up a kill there. It worked out really well for her. She's hitting Ludens. Now she has the Sork Boots available to her as well. Farming quite well. Still going to be chunking out these champions. Like say, Aatrox, I mean, he's a drain tank. He's happy if he gets to like even one more item, even if it's for the next couple of fights. Even if he's at 2 items, it would be pretty happy about that. And because of how close the gold lead has now gotten, going down from 5,000 all the way down to 3,000, the objective bounties are falling now that this Herald is coming up in another... Actually, no, it will just be Baron that'll come up in a minute. So that would be technically the next big point of contention. I don't think either team really wants to fight for this Baron at any time unless they pick up a really good fight. But this mid-lane turret, pretty low, could potentially go down, but there's enough wave clear from the side of OME to prevent that. Although Argo trying to get that bot lane turret as well. So it is just DZG trying to systematically take down the turrets here, and they will be able to get one more here and extend their gold lead to almost to a little over 4,000 now.
I say Argo is doing really well applying the pressure in these side lanes, and I do not think the matchup gets easier for Aatrox, so allowing will be able to stay in those side lanes and keep applying this pressure to force numbers on the other side of the map. So it's really well played by Argo so far. has
Yeah, Argo
TP
almost
just
has
in case
2,000.
anything looks.
Yeah, he does have TP, absolutely. I mean, in case he needs to join the fight. And he's almost up 2,000 gold on the Aatrox. So yeah, you're not wrong when you say that this matchup is not going to get easier anytime soon, unless Aatrox just finds the fight of his life where he could just make up all that gold difference and really catch up on itemization. Even then, it's difficult because he doesn't necessarily have any healing reduction either. Granted, I think Argo doesn't either quite yet. He will probably, I would assume, build Bramble Vest. I don't know, or he builds X-Blade. Either one of those, but I'm sure Aatrox builds X-Blade.
Yeah, you could. I don't even think Alawi needs any healing cut in this matchup just because she's so far ahead that might as well go for just more pure damage. Because you're getting close, and Aatrox is going for this lethality build, which I think is fine because his job will be flanking the AD carry. So he's really not opting into the side lane. So
yeah, you're right. I mean, he definitely wants a bit more burst. Speaking of burst, Syndra did pick up her second item now, was sitting in a good chunk of gold, was able to pick up pretty much a full Shadow Flame from picking up the kill and the assist. Oh, Invictus Rakan is going to get cut out here, though. Will force the flash here. Bonfire will come out, but Fantasia is able to pick up the kill. That is going to be a 1-for-0 and a potential Baron threat here for the side of OME. But instead, they're going to opt to just start clearing some vision, get some control back in the mid lane. But with the waves pushed out and pressure being applied in the bot lane, does not look... Actually, no. Hold that thought. They are looking to do it. Aphelios does have good guns here with the red-blue. And now with red-white, yeah, this could burn. And this is still anyone's fight. TP, though, coming in. Argo.
If a Mimu gets into the pit, this fight is really tough.
That's going to be a big knock, a big wombo combo. That's the circles, man.
That should be Baron for DZG. I think it's... Oh. Gavin looking to contest, is putting out good damage. Does have to run away,
all his health. He's super slowed here. Doesn't have access to Scatter the Weak, at least for another 5 to 7 seconds here. Is trying to get away, is trying to dodge on the slow. There's the Scatter the Weak. Walks forward, though. Is going to pick up the shutdown. So, wow. Good presence of mind there.
Yeah, he felt like he was dead. He wanted to get the shutdown. It also can end up slowing that Baron. They will get this mid tower first before resetting.
Yeah,
you're right. Good follow from DZG to know that they can contest that when they have Nico and a Mumu ult. The enemy sitting in the Baron pit for you is a good look.
Yeah, that looked real good. I mean, it was just a layering of circles. I mean, it was Curse of the Sad Mummy, the Nico ultimate. I think even the Alawi ultimate came down. It was just literally like 3 circles, just jumping on top of each other. Some crazy Venn diagram action as the entirety of OME was taken down there. The Baron was secure. And, I mean, that gold lead being extended to about 7,000 now, it is going to make things a lot more difficult for OME. I mean, even itemization-wise, you're starting to see third items come through for the side of DZG, where second items are just barely coming through for more than half of OME's side. Though your 2 main carries, your Aphelios and your Syndra, are on their 2 big items, and they are going to be able to sneak out this dragon right underneath DZG's nose here, despite it being on a ward. That is going to be an objective bounty secured here, and that is going to be a tie of 2-for-2 dragons here. Gold lead relatively the same, still about 75 or 7,000 for the side of DZG here. Again, it is not impossible for OME to make a comeback here, but they are going to pay for that dragon with maybe 1 turret here, if not 2.
Argo got the top tier 2 while they were doing that. So it's a lot of gold, even more gold into Argo. And he's just continuing to look to pressure the side lane as his team pushes down mid.
Yeah, DZG going to be able to pressure that, going to be able to get that mid lane tier 3 turret as the fight continues up in the top lane. Argo trying to sustain through all this damage. Is going to be better wear than worn there, as I mean, it's actually Fembo who's going to be taking a lot more damage there from just a Test of Spirit and breaking that tether, as Argo's just happy to empower this cannon minion to hopefully take down this turret as the rest of DZG is backing away. 1 extra shot from that cannon will be enough to take down 2 inner turrets for the side of DZG as they extend their gold lead to a little over 8,000 gold here. And it is, again, becoming increasingly more difficult for the side of OME to really maintain any semblance of control of this game.
Yeah, they really have to look for... Someone has to get a deep ward for Aatrox. They have to make Jinx feel comfortable. Jinx and Nico, they both can single carry a fight at this point. And you have to be able to get on that back line. This Wukong has not been able to find
Ooh, Moonlight Vigil going to come out. That is Cyclone as well, and it is going to be a big burst one, but that is going to be the Nico ulti come out. Suki does go golden here. 2 go down, 3 go down. It's just Gavin once again trying to run away from the side. This is a triple kill for Suki. Suki trying to get away, not trying to become a victim to the Syndra. That is going to be the Super Mega Death Rocket that's going to take down Gavin, as it is going to be a 4 for 0. TP coming out as well.
Yeah,
This is surely going to be the game for DZG as they're just running it down mid.
as well. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, hey, one last stand for OME. They're like, hey, if we could find this fight while Argo's up in the top lane dealing with Aatrox, maybe, just maybe, we can turn this game. But it looks like OME was just a little too far behind to make that happen.
I don't think Wukong had many things that could help him this game, so he just goes in, gets disengaged from, and then Jinx gets a reset, and the fight looks tough. I think just well played by DZG. Not losing too much early. They were down a little bot lane, but OME wasn't able to capitalize off of that, and DZG just outscale and out team fault.
Yeah, absolutely. A very clean game by DZG. Like you said, I mean, outscaled, and really just had almost full control of the game almost at every point. It definitely looked like both teams were really kind of testing the waters a lot in the early game, trying to make things work, trying to figure out really what's next for them. But once DZG really got on a roll, it was really only, I think, one play in the bot lane where it looked just not as great for them, where they were, I think they lost one turret, but were able to and no dragon. Really, the only thing you can really knock them for is those last 2 dragons that OME was able to take away. But aside from that, I mean, DZG really had full control of this game 1.
Yeah, huge shout out to Argo. Really just putting a clinic on the Aatrox kind of prevents him from even interacting with the rest of the team. So good pressure, good presence, and a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that said, that is going to be at the end of game number 1 as we start loading in for game number 2. I encourage you guys to take a look at our personal DZG sponsor of W.GG. If you want some clean energy, whether that's for working out or for just gaming on the go or gaming at home, I encourage you to go to W.GG and use our code DZGWin to get 10% off of your order. But with that said, we will take a quick break. We'll be back for game number 2 in just a bit, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of DZG Arcadia against OME Nightfall. DZG taking a commanding game 1 and taking the lead of this 3-game series 1-0. And we are already in draft. Nothing's changed so far. Taking out these carries. DZG still on the red side. OME still on the blue side. Zaya, Kaisa, and LeBlanc still taken out. So far, repeat bans from game number 1.
Yeah, I do hope OME has a little bit of a more cohesive comp this next coming game. I want a good game 2 from them. And we'll see if they change their first pick.
Ah,
Maokai, I do like that more just because it can be flexed.
this is just Emilio pick again, though. That's the...
Yeah.
Like you pick, I understand. You're right. It can be flexed, and it's probably way better than the Wukong. But you would think that you would get rid of Emilio at least, since he pretty much just counters what Maokai does when Maokai ults and it roots up your team. You just ult and you stop it from happening. So
Yeah, I
interesting
think you
choices
have
to
to
keep the
be
bans.
very confident to let Milio up without. You need to play around it. You need to plan to smash bot lane. And it didn't seem like they were able to get on that page last game, so let's see what they can do with their
Looks
draft
like
this time.
we are. I did not know CJ was banning for the other team, as it looks like we are going to miss that. But it's a Jinx actually that's going to be picked up here. So it looks like they want to take away the Jinx from Angel this game around, not necessarily looking to play that Aphelios, and they're also going to take the Amumu, which means this could be a Maokai top jungle or support, and it could be a Mumu jungle or support. So
both can still be flexed.
but again, Melio is open. You're picking more CC into Melio, and technically, Melio can only cleanse that all one time. But
I do think
if
there is a limit that if you have enough, Milio will just die in these fights, which is I think what they're going for here.
Yeah, no, that's valid. I guess you can overload it, right? If the Melio mispositions, then he can't ulti, and if you layer it correctly, I mean, yeah, Melio can only. It's almost like a massive team Black Shield. Like you can use it once, and I mean that's kind of it. But Kog'Maw going to be locked in for DZG Arcadia, so technically a soft counter to Jinx because it does eventually outrange. It does eventually out DPS the Jinx, despite the Jinx's range. And with Melio, I mean, even more so, the range is insane. As so far, bans have all been the same aside from this Alawi ban. It looks like
do
they are
not want
not
to
willing to
verse
give that.
Argo's
No,
Alawi again.
especially as a Mumu and Maokai, like you do not want to play into that. And I'm surprised the DCG didn't take that first, just to kind of secure it. But it is what it is. Maybe they really wanted to prioritize this Kog'Maw, but it will be the Wukong removed as well. As DCG will likely still give top counter here to Argo. Will likely grab a jungler here. Unless they want to leave the Nico for like a flex option maybe and put the Nico in the jungle role. Maybe they grab a top lane here. But with everything kind of laid out the way it is going to be this Jarvan, which is a really good pick. Oh, well, Sejuani, okay, still a solid pick. Yeah, I don't know. Me too.
Definitely
I'm also indecisive.
Front line. Yeah.
A front line. Okay, Trundle, not bad though. Into a Mumu, into Maokai. I mean, despite whichever one goes tanky, especially if the Maokai goes top, like that's just two big tanks to take stats away from.
The pillar also provides a decent amount of peel for Kog'Maw, and the slow allows him to chase pretty easily. I do think it's okay.
I think the jungle could also potentially go top as well. Not that it's like better than jungle at this point, but I guess if the matchup it allows it, I mean, you just kind of go like the whole breaker trundle top thing and just run people down. And there's not really a way to stop this. Orianna's gonna get picked up, so they're going for more of a wombo combo, something that Milio can't cleanse. Yeah.
Milio can't cleanse, and Ori outranges Nico. Stays safe from the ultimate that was blowing them up last game.
So it looks like the Amumu or the Maokai are going to go support here as the Shen. Well, I guess Shen could technically go support as well. I doubt it, but I mean, yeah, we're going to have to wait until Champ Select to see which one of these two CC monsters goes into the jungle and which one goes support. As DZG now know it's a Shen. Not a lot of great picks available. I mean, if Ornn is an option, not the greatest, but it is an option. Mundo,
I wouldn't be surprised if
solid.
Argo slammed like a Darius or something into
That would be good too.
well.
Yeah. Oh.
But they are going for the full peel back comp that.
Oh. Okay.
It should be the Trundle top, I would think.
I don't know.
I don't know. Actually,
Sejuani top's
might
not
be
the
a
worst.
Yeah, it might be a better matchup for Sej as well.
Yeah.
Because the Spirit Refuge can block a lot of Trundle's early game damage.
And I mean, Sejuani is a very solid top laner as well into this. Not as popular as it once was, as it was pretty much just like the pick or first pick flex pick. Now kind of reserved more towards that Maokai. But yeah, I mean, DZG kind of just coming up with the same game plan as game number one with a couple of champions changed. It's really just we have this front line, we have this damage, we can find pick, or we just let the Kog'Maw kind of do his thing. And we saw that OME Nightfall didn't necessarily have an answer for that in the mid game, and it kind of just escalated from there. But now with this new comp of this AOE CC, the Jinx being this
Yeah, I
big
think
spread damage, it's a little different.
Yeah, I think OME does have better tools this game than last game. Shen is also better in the side lane, and the side lane pressure from DZG should be a little less, unless it is that Trundle top,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess we will see momentarily. So don't have to worry about towers as much if it's the Trundle jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's really just dependent on where DG wants to end this top lane to see how this top matchup goes. But like you said, yeah, OME has a lot more tools available to them. It's still a similar play style, but oh so different in terms of you still want to take this Kog'Maw down as best as you can so it doesn't free hit, but you do have the option of having this Amumu dive in with the Shen ultimate, or the Maokai dive in with the Shen ultimate, and then the Jinx and the Orianna being able to layer up that damage. Though it looks like it is going to be that Sejuani top, so
Yeah,
not so much of a split push threat, but more of a in your
a
face. I don't
better
necessarily
matchup.
need to auto
Yeah,
you a lot.
yeah. Do you think it is the better matchup? Trundle will just be relegated to pretty much divine and hit whoever Cog's hitting at this point.
Yeah.
Um, which I think still works with their comp. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it still works quite well. I mean, whether it's the Amumu or the Maokai, Amumu definitely going to be a little bit more tankier than the Maokai because the Maokai is going to be playing more on that support income.
income, yeah,
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit harder for the Maokai to be as tanky. However, I mean, even early on, I mean, if the Maokai is looking to engage and maybe stand in front of the carries, a good Trundle ulti will allow that Kog'Maw to just really burn through him or cut through him like butter and really move forward with the rest of the team. But yeah, DZ just has to really watch for positioning. I think that's the main thing that DZG has to worry about this game is positioning and just making sure that the Ori Mumu Jinx damage
yeah,
combo doesn't blow them all up because
yeah.
it very easily could.
I think Nico and uh, who's the ADK for DCG? Is it Kog'Maw? Yeah, Nico
Kog'Maw.
and
Yep.
Kog'Maw have to stand apart from each other. If only one of them dies and they used everything, I think the other one can clean the fight up after.
Hmm.
But if they both get hit by the chain CC, the fight could get really tough really fast.
Yeah, and I think for OME, like you really gotta be communicating to be able to land all that wombo combo because that's really the basis of your comp is timing everything correctly, being able to find those picks because they are like sort of kind of a pick comp, but really mostly that AOE wombo combo. So it's about communicating that and making sure that they can layer it correctly on the right target, or just being in the range to be able to work something like the Amumu Orianna combo or the Maokai Shen with the Orianna, just being able to land that CC because one big whiff of like an Amumu ulti or an Orianna ult or mistiming a Shen ulti really just allows DCG to kind of come back from that. So
Yeah,
as the
DCG
aggressors,
has
you got to be
really
careful.
good chase after the initial
Hmm.
engage.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that said, we'll be taking a quick break as we get loaded onto the Rift. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back for game number 2 of DZG Arcadia versus OME Nightfall. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of DZG Arcadia versus OME Nightfall in this week 1 of the APL Plat League for Aegis. It looks like OME is gonna go for the if we didn't work playing safe, we're gonna play aggressive and really take this lead, and they're gonna look to invade the top lane. Let's see if Argo can spot this out.
Saying
Perfect
they probably
invade here.
scouted the first game, see what they did.
Yeah.
Near the 5 point, he stands in this bush.
Argo. Okay. Hey, you know what?
Has
You
to
take
start
those.
Q.
Starting Q, not the worst thing in the world for Sejuani up in the top lane. So I mean, you're not too upset by that.
Say DZG responding, getting vision in the bot side.
Yeah, good quick heads up play there by DZG. And we'll see where each jungle looks to start. It looks like Tenmo is once again going to be looking to path towards his bot lane. I guess it makes sense, right? Like, ganking top lane doesn't really do much for you. I mean, it's a Shen into Sejuani, and Sejuani does have access to that Q to just kind of Q away and maybe even drag the Amumu with him. Where the bot lane has the CC with the Maokai, especially at level 2, having both the Twisted Advance and the Bramble Smash to just, like, root and knock back. And layer it with the Amumu, in theory, could be really good for the side of OME Nightfall. Yeah, wards will be cleared, so DZG will not know for sure if the Amumu is starting on the blue side until the Amumu crosses or not. But it looks like both junglers will be choosing to path towards bot lane, as both see the top lane probably just being a little bit more of a waste of time.
Yeah, I would agree with the junglers, yeah. Top lane will be a waste of time. Say, Trundle looking to skip a couple camps, probably looking for more of a 3-camp clear. And Mumu seems to be working towards a full clear at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean Amumu really benefits from taking like the bigger camps, or I'm sorry, the multiple camps as opposed to the single camps to be able to proc that tantrum. But level 2 going to be hit by Femboy a little bit quicker. Argo going to be taking a little bit more damage as the Q does pass through him. Twisted Advance will land level 2. Bramble Smash will actually knock him back. Emilio getting chucked out here. Fantasia also taking a good chunk of damage, but this is still in favor of OME here as they were able to chunk both of DZG bot laners a little bit more. Pots will tick for both ADCs as they're trying to stay healthy. But again, Trundle will be here first, maybe looking to invade the Amumu on the chickens at this point. Trundle doesn't necessarily have Prio here. The Orianna would technically have first move, so we'll have to see what happens as he's actually not going to spot the Amumu. Ooh, this is going to be crazy. Yeah, Twisted Advance going to land. Invictus Recon taking dangerously low. Tenmo is going to be able to Q over Bandage Toss onto the Krugs. Fantasia taking low, going to be able to sidestep that Angel, sidestepping the Zap. But overall, a win for DZG as they're actually going to be able to take both the red camp and the positive trade in the bot lane. So DZG coming on top on 2 separate fights. Yeah,
I think it was just really smart by Scrafty to get into the bush before Amumu sees, and Amumu Qs into him, onto the red buff, and some should be blown bot here.
Yeah, Flash going to be blown by Fantasia here. Bramble Smash going to be used to knock Scrafty back. Scrafty did look, or Angry President did use the Flash there to try to get in. Fight in the top lane though, Taunt will be used. The fight continues in the bot lane. Looks like the Sapling will take a little bit more damage off of Angel here as they do ding level 3.
Really wants to get this bot lane in. I don't think they're able to without coming to cover. Shen does look like he's winning most of his early trades up in CS as well.
Ooh, Fantasia doesn't have Flash. One more auto is going to be enough. That is going to be the Flash over the traps. Monkey does have Flash available. No chase will continue. That it's going to be first blood. Yikes, dude. That's depressing if you're Jinx.
Yeah. Should lose most of this. It is canon, so he'll actually make it back before all the casters die.
Ooh,
that is a tough loss.
Taunt there. That's going to be one more auto enough to proc the stun, and that's going to be Argo picking up the kill up in the top lane as OME unfortunately taking losses on both sides of the map.
I think everyone's just getting outplayed a little. The 2v2 went DZG, the 1v1 in the jungle went DZG, and now the top lane went 1v1. It's not like any big, huge team plays yet, just individual outplays.
Ooh,
Scrafty's still getting aggressive.
Yeah, Tenmo does have Flash available here, but it is still going to be Femboy with the first move here. Angry President taking a little bit more damage. Is going to be able to smite that away, though. And that's the second camp taken by Angry President on the invade.
Angry President really feeling himself at the moment.
Yeah, definitely establishing dominance here in this jungle play. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it looks like both laners are pretty content farming this out. I mean, Kog'Maw not too upset about being pushed in, as it just means he gets free farm. Is gonna be able to extend that gold or the CS lead to close to 10 if he picks up all of these minions. But even if he doesn't, that's still gonna be both a gold lead because of the kill and the CS lead in the bot lane. So Kog'Maw really is comfortable playing pretty much do nothing for the rest of the game and just pretty much securely outscale this Jinx with the lead that he gets from that kill. Taunt will land. Permafrost is there and available. Will get proc despite the Spirit Refuge being up and ready. Both top laners have their 6. Sejuani could look for an all-in at some point during this with her 6. Doesn't have Ignite though, so it won't be as easy to secure as you see in other top lane Sejuani matchups that we saw earlier last season, but still definitely a possibility, especially if he keeps landing these Winter Fights.
Argos keeps cutting
or
out the
Northern
Shen
Flail.
here. And if the Shen doesn't go in with the taunt, it's hard for him to win the trade. Just might look for something as Sej gets near the tower. Argo is respecting it. Seems though. It's
Yeah, Argo.
Greaves on Kog'Maw is a pretty decent spike, especially when your counterpart only has the longsword. You can really start to chase down and look for some like aggressive trades as long as you know where Mimu is, which he is bot side right now, so they need to be a little safe at the moment.
Ooh, Flash Twisted Advance gonna land. That is gonna be the traps as well. Trying to get Angel onto there. He will get exhausted. Angry Present is trying to make it there. Chris's that movement not available yet, but Angel's just popping him. Shen ultimate coming through though. Angel, it will not be enough. It goes into passive, trying to get it in front of him. It is going to be another Twisted Advance to disengage, and it is going to be a solid pickup here as Fantasia goes pretty low, but it is still going to be a 1 for 0 so far for the side of OME.
Good punish. Maokai has flash. Kog'Maw doesn't. You look for that as a Mimu comes in. The Shen ult did get cancelled, so it's actually preferable for the Shen because now he gets to farm the wave on the tower and still provided the shield that made them win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a really good play.
Worked out for OME. Besides this dragon.
Yeah, besides the dragon, which, I mean, I think you still take, you get a kill on your ADC, kind of puts them back into the game, lets them continue, or to go back to abusing this Kog'Maw, who comes back with 2 daggers, but it is still going to be this first dragon, which is a chem tank, which is a pretty solid singular dragon to pick up to get that percentage, or percentage reduction, or damage reduction, in the later parts of the game.
I say the tenacity is helpful for the Kog and the thing, and the heal and shield power is pretty useful for the Milio. So it's not a bad single Drake.
Yeah, not at all. So yeah, I mean, both teams pretty comfortable where they are right now. I mean, picking up that kill for the Jinx definitely puts OME in a more comfortable position. Doesn't make them feel like, this bot lane matchup is just doomed. Where DZG definitely wants to be a little bit more careful to not let this Kog'Maw fall super behind. Granted, not behind now, but with the aggression that DZG is putting into this bot lane, it is preferable that they do not continue to suffer from, over aggression or getting ganked, because we do not want, or DZG does not want this Kog'Maw to fall too behind, as it will just take even longer for them to ramp up and be able to contest some of this early pressure.
Does have ultimate now. Angry is still
he just stole that one.
And continues stealing this grub.
Oh man, poor Tenmo, man. We'll get spotted though. It is a 2v2 in the top lane. Pillar work will come out. A dive probably not in the works here. More of just annoyance from Angry Present.
Probably look to start the Herald if they see Tenmo finish, as we call. They do see Tenmo walking back into the river though on that void.
Ooh, Fantasia losing half their health there.
Yeah, that's the Greaves W. Milio W gives move speed and range, and then with the Greaves, you can run down the Jinx and just get so many free autos without her being able to respond because you outrange with the W.
Yeah.
And Jinx doesn't even have boots yet, so it's pretty tough to get away from just taking all that damage.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Like you said, Angry Present is going to be starting up the Herald up in the top lane. OME is none the wiser here, does not have the vision set up to be able to prevent that, nor do they have the lane pressure to be able to rotate to it, so it looks like Angry Present is going to be able to take that no problem as he's able to back, and we see the first item of the game completed now, that Sunfire Cape completed for Argo up in the top lane.
So yeah, I didn't realize the Sage was so lit, but he is foregoing the boots at first. Not really needed in this matchup. You're not exactly worried about getting run down or chased, so just goes for the full completion early.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to manage some of that wave clear that the Shen doesn't necessarily have over her by any means. Ooh, that's going to be a flash coming out from Gavin, dodging out of that Nico ultimate, going to be able to get away. And I mean, Suki will take that any day of the week. It doesn't have teleport per se, but is going to definitely take that trade.
So there's been a lot of trading on this island. Look at me. But Suki is up 30 CS, which is a couple kills worth of gold. He's doing really well for himself. Is able to get the push out, force the flash and the TP out of the Ori.
Yeah,
Maokai
I mean,
looking with the Mumu here.
yeah, and a repeat gank here in the bot lane is exactly what DZG wants to avoid. That ultimate coming out here, and then it's going to be the melee ulti immediately to cleanse out of it. Though he's still going to be chased down. Twisted Advance going to come through. That is going to be the flash as well. Teleport coming through, though. 4v3 situation here for DZG. Ultimates are available. Wrinkled Monkey going to be punked down. Shen, Shield, Stand United going to come through. One more auto should be enough. No, Shen's going to come through. That is still going to be the kill picked up by Argo here, as he's going to be able to disengage here. Bandage toss is going to miss, but here comes Suki as well. Argo going to be taken down. The turn can happen here. Suki looking to maybe land something a little bit indecisive. Not enough direction, or maybe not enough commitment. Yeah. Ooh, good route there. Pop Blossom coming through as well. Really good chunking, though, as the Arcane Artillery is coming through. That is going to be Curse of the Sad Mummy. Oh, Super Mega Death Rocket going wide here. Angel still free hitting, though. Suki locking him up. Fantasia did get excited, though. Is going to be able to get a little bit more speed there, but it is overall going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of OME here, as they're actually going to be pretty content with the way that went. A lot of really good ultimates used in good spots.
Just a 5v5 at 11 minutes in the bot lane.
Yeah, just very casually.
And Shen still has TP, here. So
oh, that's going to be
stay
Hex
a little
Flash.
longer.
Trying to reach, the Zap is going to land. The slow from the sapling. The dive is going to come through. That is going to be Twisted Advance in the Bramble Smash. But that's Angel turning it around, though. Wicked Monkey, or Wrinkle Monkey. No, double kill going over to Angel, as he's saying, not even close.
Jinx flashing forward, thinking she can get that kill. Gets turned around one. That's a tough one. Probably will lose a lot of pressure in the bot side, as Angry is looking for the Mumu once again because of it.
Yeah, and yeah, that's just tragic if you're OME. I mean, it was a really good idea in theory. Like, you know, this Amumu is potentially mispositioned, you know, or not Amumu, I'm sorry, the Kog'Maw is positioning further up, trying to pick up that rest of the wave. It was a good thought. It's just the way it was played out just did not work. Not being able to reach the Kog'Maw right away made it very difficult.
Yeah, I think Shen would have had to commit a little. Oh, there's a fight going on.
Off map, it looks like I think Jinx was able to use the Super Mega Death Rocket to pick up the low health Kog'Maw. Angel stuck around to try to secure that dragon, and it ended up costing him his life and a shutdown.
That is a saving grace for OME. Jinx getting kills in gold is exactly what you want.
Yeah, Jinx able to complete that call. Gonna get a little bit of more gold in her pocket on top of that shutdown. Has finished the Kraken, is only about 250 gold away from finishing up those boots, and will have enough money to pick up the next component for second item. So if anything, I mean, Jinx being up 300 gold, pretty solid for her. It's gonna allow her to be just a tad bit ahead of this Kog'Maw, despite the Kog'Maw having an extra kill on her. Everywhere else, I mean, Shen is up gold, so honestly, OME's not too sad about this.
It's a very close game.
Yeah, they're only down 500.
Uses...
Oh, that's Nico coming in as a melee, as a caster minion from the river. Oh, that is going to be the flash, and that is going to be secure shutdown going over to Nico. Bot lane fight coming to come through, though. Angel getting locked down here. That is going to be the shockwave coming through. Angel going to be taken dangerously low, trying to trade with Fantasia. Is going to be taken down into passive form. Wrinkle Monkey trying to secure Invictus Recon here. That is going to be passive. Fantasia taking a lot of damage. Looking to keep the chase going, but that is OME with another really good gank onto this bot lane.
Yeah, really good shockwave by the Ori to pull in the Kog'Maw without flash, and just really good target selection. If they hit anyone else there, they lose the fight. They go for the Kog'Maw, and they're able to get that kill.
Yeah, and I mean, this is exactly what you would hope would not happen for DZG, which is that Kog'Maw continuing to overextend, or just the Kog'Maw trying to play aggressive. Maybe not so much overextending, but playing so aggressive that that it starts costing them their life and costing them any kind of semblance of a lead that they have. That another kill being taken, it just means that Jinx is now ahead of full pickaxe onto this Kog'Maw, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult as DZG, or as both teams, I'm sorry, transition into the mid game. This next Dragon coming up in 2.5 minutes means that OME is going to be in a pretty good spot, despite being down about 700 gold. They're in a good spot to play this front-to-back wombo combo comp that they really want to play in these fights.
OME just really has to play around their ultimate cooldowns. If they don't have ultimates and they try to fight, that's how you throw the game back a little bit. So it's okay to look for these huge wombos, just make sure you have your abilities.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you need to have those big ultis, and I mean, Amumu ulti is really the only one that they're waiting for. Actually, no, Maokai ulti as well is coming up. Yeah, so they will have these available for this next Dragon. The Herald is available, though, so should DZG want to do that, they can. Angry Present is invading the Amumu again, which means he will not be in position to contest this Herald that is coming through. Looks like Argo will spot that and will deter the Amumu from potentially continuing this Herald, as just the presence alone and the Nico being missing might be enough to push them away as Tenmil's trying to run. Permafrost will be procced here. I mean, Argo does a lot of damage. Yeah.
It
is still going to be the bandage
really careful the spot side.
Ooh,
oh,
flash bandage. Ram. Yeah, this is really good. That's going to be death. Oh, most certainly is death, and that's going to be Wrinkle Monkey taking the kill here. Super Mega Death Rocket will go wide. The chase onto Invictus Rakan will continue. That is going to be Shen Ultimate being popped as well to try to secure this kill. Shen going to come in, is going to be able to secure the kill as Fantasia, and that's going to be a 2 for 0 for the side of OME as this Dragon coming up in a minute and a half as Angry Present was not able to make it there in time to turn that around.
Really smart play by OME, because if they wait 10 seconds, Trundle will be there, they dive, and the Jinx gets completely... They lose that tower probably as well. So
Angry
really
Present
good
is here.
presence of mind.
Yeah, flash not available. That's an easy kill. Suki able to pick up a kill, able to trade that back. So it's overall, 2 for 1. Still for the side of OME. This Dragon coming up in under a minute now. Herald is still available. Both teams pretty happy with they are. OME probably a little bit more so, as they've been winning around the map a little bit more in this mid game, taking their first gold lead of the series at a little over 300 gold.
Yeah.
And this Jinx, I mean, she's in a very comfortable
Jinx
spot.
is very strong.
Yeah, only a little bit of gold away from finishing that eye edge. Probably another 300 to 500 gold, really, to be able to finish eye edge. And if she can get that before this next Dragon spawns in the next 30 seconds, or maybe just back here and see if she can pick up the Crit Cloak or anything of the sort, I mean, she is in a very comfortable spot for this next fight.
Kog'Maw still no flash. Jinx does have flash. These 80 carry flashes are pretty important in these fights to stay on the outside of the fight. So Kog can be in danger here. Milio ult is coming back up. They have Curse of the Sad Mummy as well. I think this is fightable for OME if they choose to.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Shen ulti is not available. Teleport is, however. It looks like DZG is going to look to force this Dragon start, but it looks like OME is looking to trade this. Instead of preventing DZG from getting on a soul point, they're actually just going to go ahead and say, you know what, we'll trade this Herald and maybe look to go top. Though this Dragon's going to go down before.
So they didn't feel comfortable walking in. Amumu's not full tank, so it is a little tougher just to run behind him. He went the demonic first item. I think it's a good call. Might as well not try to throw a lead.
Yeah, DZG looking to try to take down this turret. Jinx is able to free hit, though. It's a lot of damage, surprisingly. That is going to be the Glacial Prison going to land here. Nico ultimate going to land as well. Tenmo is not going to be able to ulti either. Monkey trying to get in there is not going to be able to do enough. The Super Mega Death Rocket not enough to take down either Angry Present or Argo the Radis, so no get excited for Jinx, as it is going to be a 1 for 0 and the mid lane tier 1 turret for the side of DZG.
Yeah, a little aggressive by OME. They didn't have the numbers. They thought the Amumu ult would be enough, but Invictus Rakan does a great job of cleansing it. Kog'Maw gets the hit, and Amumu just dies without being able to really get anything done.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked good for both teams in terms of how that fight was going for. I mean, one big ulti would have probably been enough for the Jinx to just kind of free hit. But again, now that she has that eye edge, it's even more of a threat, where if Jinx gets the ability to just free hit in these fights without getting locked down, he will shred through the entirety of DZG. It's really just the Sejuani that has any tank stats. Well, now we see a couple of cloth armors being picked up by Angry Present, but it's still really just a Sejuani being your primary tank. The rest of the team for DZG can be shred by this 2-item Jinx.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're about 20 minutes in. Both teams are tied up in gold, 32.3 for both sides. However, DZG is on that dragon lead right now, sitting pretty at 3 dragons, looking for the soul point. The Ocean Soul being a very good dragon for DZG, as they already have a good amount of innate healing with the Emilio, with the Trundle, as Angry Present here looking with the pillar. One good root might be enough here. That is going to be the snare landed, and that's going to be the Glacial Prison onto Jinx as well. That is going to be the Stand United, just not going to be enough, and it is going to be a shutdown picked up by Angel on the Kog'Maw. Teleport did come through as well for Suki. Coming into this mid lane, as DZG is going to be able to take that kill that they just got and continue this, or start the siege onto the mid tier 2 turret. It's not long for this war either. They have the Demolish proc, as well as this Kog'Maw that's sitting at 1.5 items that are just going to be able to take this down. So DZG taking back that gold lead rather quickly, where we saw it being even is now almost a 2,000 gold lead based on that shutdown and that that turret that they were able to take down. And good rotations. DZG saying, you know what, we're just going to outmacro you now. You gave us the Jinx. We have nothing to be afraid of right now. Ultimate coming through, though, trying to disengage. That's going to be Twisted Advance onto Argo, of all people. The Sejuani not too sad about that. Ooh, melee ulti, not going to be able to cleanse that. Super Mega Death Rocket going to come through, going to chunk the entirety of the team. This is OME's time to start chasing. I don't know if they have the tools available to keep chasing, though. No ultimates are available for the side of OME. DZG just maybe a little bit too fast here, as they're going to be able to disengage and almost pick up a second turret, but will pick up some big ultimates and some key cooldowns from the side of OME.
Yeah, OME is fighting with their cooldowns, but they are not fighting with numbers. These last 2 fights that they've engaged on have been outnumbered. They were outnumbered because the Jinx had a little bit of a problem with object permanence. Sej walked into the jungle and forgot she was there.
Listen, man, sometimes you just don't grow out of that, I guess. But Herald will be dropped here. OME saying, hey, you know, we're running out of time. Maybe we can drop this. Maybe secure a turret here. Open up the mid wave a little bit more. It is going to be a 5-man push from OME here, as DZG is split up against the map. But it does not look like OME is too confident to try to even take this 5v3, as they're just happy to take the Herald crash. As DZG is starting to take control of this bottom side of the map, trying to get enough vision for this dragon. As it is coming up in 57 seconds. It is going to be Ocean Soul for the side of DZG, so you better believe that they're going to look to fight over this. Kog'Maw sitting now at 2 items, matching this Jinx, especially after that shutdown.
Yeah, we should be seeing both teams try to push out mid here. It looks like DZG will be first on the wave, so they can just push this out, and either they'll miss the wave or they'll have just better setup in the fight, because the minions provide vision. So if you don't see anyone on the mid wave, they're not in the mid lane, and you can walk in more confident, more safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a big wave means that the enemy team has to deal with it. So I mean, like you said, they're either going to get spotted on the wave as they try to deal with the minions that are pushing into their base, or they are not going to do that, and you're going to be expecting them to possibly show up with this dragon. Yeah, and I mean, DZG is definitely, once again, trying to establish this mid lane pressure. Wrinkled Monkey might get caught out here. Will get poked down a tiny bit. Not enough, though. Suki going to eat a zap here. Argo doing what he needs to do, stand in front of his team. Same with the Trundle. Allow safe passage for the carries to be able to walk towards this next dragon. Dragon is up and available. Pressure in the mid and the bot lane in favor.
To swap down to the bot side. They can't walk in through mid because DZG has been controlling mid wave for the last couple waves.
Yeah, Dragon
they do have to fight this.
Yeah, they do have to fight this. Makai ultimate coming through as well. That is going to be Argo trying to eat the brunt of it here, as the healing coming through from the Melio Bonfire. Good poke gonna land here. That's going to be the Twisted Advance coming through. That's going to be Orianna. Shockwave maybe looking. That's going to be Nico. Knockup going through. Amumu going to be taken down here. Argo still standing in front. Kog'Maw not necessarily able to hit as well as he wants to. Yeah, Fantasia really wants to get this reset, and the rest of DZG not able to really set up for the Kog'Maw here. Suki forced a flash. Wrinkled Monkey might be going down, but Angel not able to secure that kill. DZG trying to push through, but that's a really healthy Femboy and Gavin trying to push through. Fantasia relatively healthy as well. Argo trying to tank up as best as he can with his passive coming back up. Suki maybe looking for a root angle. That is going to be too rooted up there. That's going to be Pillar coming through. Gavin forced a flash here. Femboy going to be able to land. Fantasia's going to get excited here. Going to be looking for this chase here. Is missing the zap. Invictus Recon going to try to back away. DZG on full retreat here. Invictus Recon forced to flash here as maybe pathing might have taken him in a little bit of a weird direction. Fantasia trying to DPS here. Dragon surely going to go down. Angry Present maybe looking for the steal here. Will likely not be able to do it. And that is going to be the Dragon secured by the side of OME. A really good patient fight from both sides, but OME comes out on top.
Yeah, I say OME playing that really smart. Just letting the Ori get some damage, letting the Shen get some damage before really committing super hard with the Amumu ult. Then the Amumu ult was good. He does die for it originally, but the fight lasts so long he's able to come back and secure the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, OME definitely did a really great job, like you said. I mean, they were able to wait out for that Shen to come back and really turn that fight around. It looked really good when they were able to pick up the first kill, at least DZG, but then they got chunked up super hard because of Fantasia just not being touched. They were just able to start landing a bunch of this AoE rocket damage and chunked out all the carries. The tanks were still relatively not super healthy either, so it really just made it easy for them to kind of assert their dominance in this river and push through, as this Baron is next point of contention here. DZG is looking to still pick up the side lane turret, as currently Suki's in this bot lane uncontested, as the rest of OME is on the top side of this map. Suki maybe trying to play with whatever vision he's got left. Not a lot in this red side jungle, so pushing must be done with caution here, as DZG trying to take full control of this Baron area despite the Scuttle Crab being in there. But yeah, DZG knows what they want, and it's this Baron pressure for sure.
A lot of flashes were burned on DZG's side, so really need a clean fight, because if someone gets caught out without flash, that will be the Baron for OME.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're very right. I mean, all the carries, no flash. As we did see Suki take down the bot lane turret here, gives DZG a little bit more gold, escalating or increasing their gold lead to just a little over 2,000 now. Both ADCs are really working towards picking up this next item. It's really, I think, to me, it's a battle of ADCs. Obviously, Suki on the Nico does a lot of damage. Orianna can do a lot of damage, despite the fact that she's only sitting on one and like 2/3 of an item. But it's really these ADCs who gets the free hit as easier. And I mean, Jinx is building mostly damage. Kog'Maw really only getting damage from the on hit of like the Runaan's Hurricane and the Guinsoo's, not so much straight up like crit damage. So Jinx definitely hurting a lot more against these squishies, where Kog'Maw really meant to be tank shredding, doesn't really have a lot of tanks to shred once the Amumu gets taken down. So it's really,
I think
DZG
will become more comfortable in these fights once he gets his Boik finish, because then these tanks can start to really
Yeah, and I mean, a little bit of added sustain never hurt anybody either. DZG looking to ping, or maybe picking this dragon as they're trying to clear our vision once again. Wrinkled Monkey is going to be able to spot our ward here. He's going to be able to start using the saplings and the scanner to be able to really start taking back this vision control. But DZG, once again, applying pressure in the mid lane. It's really all they want to do is just keep crashing these waves.
really good macro from DZG. I was told that the macro wasn't going to be this clean, but the pressure on the mid wave is working out for them. And I do think DZG is smart enough not to do the same mistake that OME did in the first game. You start hitting against a Wombo, a Mumu combo, so they're playing it slow, keeping pressure, getting vision. Maybe just waiting for this next dragon for a minute and a half, not risking the Baron fight.
And I think that's a really good idea for both teams. I mean, DZG, obviously, if we're talking about what they're doing, I think it's a good idea to try to wait for this next dragon fight. It is still Ocean Soul for them, should they pick it up. If anything, I really would like to try to see this Kog'Maw try to get to the next full item, not necessarily knowing how far away Kog'Maw is from picking up that third item, but was able to pick up that Hard Home Axe and the recurve bow, like so they should be close.
Wit's End before. I think Wit's End is fine, but I do think the Boik would have been a little better. But he does feel like he's under threat from Mumu, because the Amumu did build damage. The Amumu Ori combo can be a lot of magic damage up front, so he just wants to live that initial burst.
And Jinx
live that damage.
Yeah, and Jinx just finished up that LDR as well. So I mean, Jinx is not too afraid of these tanks, despite the fact that Sejuani and Trundle are really almost exclusively building armor to deal with the Jinx. Yeah. 29 minutes
both teams have pretty close item completions, close team fighting ability. It's really just gonna come down to who messes up, I think, more than anything.
Yeah.
Flashes are back up for DZG. Flashes on everyone, actually, on the whole map. So
Yeah,
should be a
DZG
spicy dragon fight. Unless they
DZG
look to
pinging
trade
the
the
Baron. Yeah, I mean, it's an
Yeah,
option,
on
but you almost
Vision.
never do this. Yeah, you almost never do this. You really want to secure this Ocean Soul. Trading for Baron, not the right move, especially when they're starting it now. Dragon was taken now.
Yeah,
Super Mega Death Rocket is available.
CHP.
Blue trinkets.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they
I
can
mean,
make
this
it
is-
here.
They
Maokai
make it?
is pretty fire.
Yeah, Makai ulti is going to come through now. Just a little bit more damage. It's going to be the Smite coming down shortly. Okay, Smite a little late there by Angry Present, but it is still going to be the kill. That's going to be a teleport coming in from Suki. Suki's actually in no man's land here. Going to be taken relatively low. Super Mega Death Rocket's going to go wide. Zanya's still going to get popped here. Sapling trying to apply a little bit more damage.
Shen
It's
not
going to be the
here yet.
Amumu
Shen does
going
have Stand
in.
United.
Yeah, Glacial Prison is there as well. Angel not really able to get into the fight, so a lot of the DPS is being stunted here as Suki is dangerously low and the Kog'Maw cannot walk without the front line. So it is going to be DZG on a full retreat here as they're able to secure this Baron for the cost of an Ocean Dragon and their potential soul opportunity. But it is still going to be a no-kill death, but it is going to be probably this mid lane turret going to go down as Angel really cannot hold against the entirety of OME.
You do take that as DZG just because the single Ocean Drag isn't that much value for OME. I do think OME could have chased a little harder just because they had the Shen ult and they were getting pretty chunked, but they just decided to back off and get the mid tower instead.
Yeah, DZG now with the Baron, going to be looking to start applying a little bit more pressure. Suki back onto the bot lane, trying to stop this turret from going down. Will be able to do that. DZG trying to make the most out of this Baron and trying to just start applying pressure immediately before the recalls can come through. They are up about 3,000 gold, so it technically should be in DZG's favor. That is going to be a flash coming through. Argo doesn't have ultimate just yet, so that's just going to be a flash flail for nothing, but it is still going to be the turret that's likely going to go down here as this empowered wave is going to be enough along with a couple autos. Maokai ulti is going to come through as well. That's going to be a really big ultimate. That's a massive 3-man ultimate from Orianna. That's going to be a 2-man ultimate from Suki here. It's going to be Kog'Maw still free hitting though. Kog'Maw going to get locked down though. Jinx is now free hitting. Jinx is excited here. That's going to be the Zanya's coming through from Suki. That's going to be a lockdown as well. Suki though able to pick up Fantasia, so it's going to be a 3 for 4 or 2 for 4 for the side of OME. As OME is going to be able to take that despite their turret going down. A little bit of over aggression from the side of DZG costs them a lot.
Yeah, really good look by Tenmo. Getting into that pocket of vision. They had a ward on that side, but not all the way down towards the wolf pit, and so Amumu was able to sneak in there, get the bandage toss over, hit the 3-4-man Curse of the Sad Money, stun up the Kog'Maw, has to... Emilio doesn't get to use his ult there because he also got stunned, which is one of those situations where like it's group CC, Emilio can start to not feel as good. So just a really good look by Tenmo on the side there with the OE ball on him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tenmo definitely found a really good angle there, just like you mentioned that in that vision, or the lack thereof vision from the side of DZG, and not being able to spot him. And that's exactly the wombo combo that OME has been wanting to find for the longest time. I mean, that's kind of where they excel at, being able to land all that CC, the Orianna and the Amumu ulti, the Maokai ulti, and really just letting Jinx just free hit with those rockets. Tenmo, though, might be in a bit of trouble here. Will get spotted out. The bandage toss will come through. Pillar is available.
Yeah.
Does not have flash available, so this is likely going to be Tenmo going to go down here. As
I don't
DZG...
know about the split pushing Amumu.
No, I don't either. Amumu not necessarily known for his split push prowess.
And no objectives are up while he's down, so they probably will just lose bot vision. Is really the only punish here for the Amumu dying. So he got the tower.
Oh, looks like DZG's gonna look to go for this hair or for this inhibitor.
Yeah, they're gonna force hard.
Yeah, Angry Present gonna be looking to pick up this bot lane turret. That's gonna be immediate Glacial Prison onto Orianna. Gavin gonna be able to get away though. That is gonna be a really good Maokai ultimate to disengage, as Argo is gonna eat a good chunk of it. Is eating a lot of that Jinx damage though. Doesn't have the Q up and available just yet, but the rotation's coming down. DZG trying to macro their way through this, trying to pick up a second Herald here. The engage ability is still available though. There is no Maokai ulti, but it does look like OME just does not see a way of getting on top of DZG here, as OME is going to end up losing 2 inhibitors for that Amumu death.
Yeah, DZG really punishing that. Good TP in from Argo, forces them all back on the mid lane, and then Trundle just able to hit bot tower.
Yeah. 35 seconds left on this dragon as DZG's taking these recalls, trying to spend all that money that they got from those inhibitors and from the Amumu kill, trying to set up for this Baron. It is going to be them trying to retake this on the back foot, though, as it is going to be OME who is going to get here first. They are going to be waiting on their jungler to come from... Actually, no, jungler is already there. So yeah, I mean, I mean, at this point, it's OME going to have to try to do this almost immediately, trying to do this before the supers get there. Yeah, DZG trying to escort that for Super Wave, though, through the mid lane, trying to poke out Femboy here, trying to establish some of that mid lane control. Argo walking in first, Angel's there as well. Wrinkled Monkey might get cut out here, though. That is going to be the Arctic Assault. A couple more hits will secure that Permafrost proc, but it is going to be the Flash coming through. 4,500 left on this. I don't know if Angry Present can get in there. He cannot. Glacial Prison not going to land here, and that's going to be the third dragon secured by OME here, as they're going to be one step closer. Both teams now on Soul Point. The root gonna land from Suki here, trying to push this mid lane wave in as this bot lane and bot lane turrets. Yeah, the bot lane wave is already crashing into these turrets here. It's gonna be super waves crashing. But this is a really weird split here from OME, as OME's trying to get in there. The ultimates was used here to try to secure it, but it's gonna be Argo gonna be locked in. 3-man Shockwave gonna land. The Zuki ulti not gonna land either. Jinx is free hitting though. Argo trying to stand in front. Same with Angry Present, but Jinx is completely untouched here. Kog'Maw trying to push through, trying to get through the entirety of the front line. Argo going dangerously low. Just one more hit should be enough, but Fantasia not able to get the resets here, as it is just cute Femboy, Gavin, and Fantasia trying to secure what's left of their base, but it is still going to be a 2 for 0 for the side of DZG, as they were dangerously close to going down and giving a Jinx the much-needed reset to clean up that fight.
I think Monkey just got a little antsy. His team was busy playing the supers on the tower. He looks for the ult from behind. Isn't really able to catch anyone. DZG will also get this Baron for free off of the pressure of the supers and that fight.
Yeah, DZG gonna be able to maximize. Yeah, they're able to maximize really that pick, right? They were able to maximize the Amumu Maokai pick. They were able to take them down, take the Baron. These inhibitors still have about another at least 3 minutes left until they go down. Dragon's not up for another 3 minutes, so if anything, DZG is going to probably look to just start going to this top lane and really push in with these supers and look to maybe end the game here. I mean, they definitely want to do this before this game gets any further. Kog'Maw sitting on 4 items, Jinx is sitting on 4 items, but that Jinx was not touched that entire fight. And maybe this Phantom Dancer that she picked up is really the tool that's necessary. Obviously, Orianna now working on that death cap means that she's going to hurt even more once she does pick up that death cap and gets that percentage AP increase. So it's really DZG trying to maybe look for the game-ending push with this Baron and not give OME the time to find what they need to be able to win.
Set up another great team fight that they've had.
Yeah, DZG playing it patiently though. These super waves are coming. OME is going to have to respond. Gavin's going to respond to this mid lane turret mid lane wave. DZG though free hitting against this turret. Angry Present going to happily eat that zap, and that's another turret being taken down by DZG. The push will continue with this Baron empowered wave. The bot lane is eventually going to build up to something that is a little bit more unmanageable for OME. The cannon currently targeting champions, but now there we go. It's going to start hitting the turret. DZG happy to keep it empowered, but OME not too happy about giving this up, is looking to push them away with this Jinx rocket range, and is going to be able to do so. But they're going to have to deal with supers as they're coming in towards the bot lane, and DZG's ready to empower the next wave with the Baron, trying to push through. Kog'Maw trying to take as much of the front as they can.
Something as they see bot wave.
Yeah, Ori is seen on the bot lane. Argo does have the pull if necessary. Look at the Kog'Maw damage. That's going to be the Maokai ulti going to be forced here, though. Argo going to try to eat it as much as he can. That's going to be the Arctic Assault going to land onto the Amumu here. Argo going to flash. There's going to be triple inhibitor going down. Argo dangerously, though. There was healed up, but that's a 4-man knockup by Suki there. As Angel still being left alone here, trying to hit. Orianna trying to find him, will not find him. Fantasia, one more auto will not be enough. Angel will be taken down. That's going to be a pentakill for Angel, as he's able to get a pentakill in his debut onto DZG and debut into the APL, as DZG takes their first game of the APL 2-0, or the first series 2-0. And not as convincing as game number 1, but definitely, you know, they weren't sweating it. They knew they had this.
They know their comps. They know how to play it. Same type of comp, played pretty well both times. Let Angel cook, and that's what they did.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we called it out in the pregame, was that it's really just based off of ADCs. I mean, the ADCs dealing the most damage for their team. I mean, Kog'Maw dealing 35,000, the Jinx dealing 47,000, the most in the game. And the closest thing coming to is the Orianna at 2100 or 21,000. So it really was the battle of ADCs here. Which team could push forward with the ADC, give them enough space, and give them the tools necessary to just DPS. And despite the Jinx having more damage, it was really the Kog'Maw show at the very end where he was able to be healed and shielded enough to be able to burn through the enemy team.
Yeah, I think both teams played pretty well. OME had some really good mid game fights with their ults. DZG, I think, won this game mainly off of the macro, keeping mid push, keeping towers, keeping waves on the tower, hitting towers for free anytime OME made a mistake, got picked off. Just great macro from DZG.
Yeah, without a doubt. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of our stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next week, next Thursday, as we will be here at the same time at 7 p.m. EST to, or I'm sorry, 8 p.m. EST to see week 2 of DZG Arcadia in the APL. So from everybody here at DZG, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week.